Tonight, a national watchdog group says the Tennessee Supreme Court campaign has now become the top judicial race in the country to watch.
The collision between politics and justice hit a fever pitch over the weekend as Republicans tried to take control of the state's high court. Our chief investigative reporter Phil Williams has been watching both sides.
That group called Justice at Stake says both sides combined have already spent well over $300,000 just on TV ads. Tennesseans will have to decide in August whether 3 justices, all appointed by former Governor Phil Bredesen, should be retained. Yet most voters have no idea who's behind the messages.
The most liberal place in Tennessee, it's not a college campus.
This new TV ad attacks the 3 justices, calling them liberal Democrats.
They're liberal on crime. They advanced Obamacare in Tennessee.
In fact, the justices have never ruled on Obamacare, and in the case cited as proof they're liberal on crime, the justices actually rejected the appeal of convicted killer Prince Adams.
Now, out-of-state special interests are trying to take over our Supreme Court.
And now the justices are responding with a new ad of their own featuring retired Chief Justice Mickey Barker, prominently noting his Republican credentials.
Tennessee could be the biggest state judicial election story this year.
We connected over Skype with Bert Brandenburg, the head of the watchdog group Justice at Stake, worries about that collision between justice and politics.
We ask our judges to apply cases one at a time based on the law and the Constitution, and not on political pressure and not on fundraising. So the big risk is that a judicial election could turn into an auction to the point where you have the public fearing that justice is for sale.
In the case of the attack ad, it was put out by a group that calls itself the Tennessee Forum.
We're 2 women. We started out as stay-at-home moms.
While Tennessee Forum head Susan Kastner has claimed in recent statements that she and another woman in the group are not tied to any special interests, they have not had to disclose who's actually paying for the current ad campaign. Still, we discovered that this Tennessee Forum mailer urging voters to drop the hammer on the justices
and let the people decide who's telling the truth.
Was actually sent to Lieutenant Governor Ron Ramsey's Chief of Staff Lance Frizzell for approval. The company producing it referred to it in an email to Frizzell as your mail plan. It was copied to 2 Republican political consultants out of Washington. How's the public supposed to know who's telling the truth?
The fact of the matter is that these kinds of ads are filling the airways and they're the equivalent of empty calories, and a voter really needs nutrition. All they hear is a slogan.
As for the justices, they've had to finance their campaign to repel the attack through a series of fundraisers put on by lawyers across the state.
And now you have judges who are trapped in a bad system that they did not sign up for, having to go out and raise money from parties who appear before them.
Replace the liberal Supreme Court.
So replace or retain.
And keep politics out of Tennessee's courts.
For many, it may come down to which slogan you believe.
Now, our investigation had called out the campaign for the justices for claiming in their first TV ad that they had protected Second Amendment rights. The truth is they've not taken any Second Amendment cases. That claim has now disappeared from the justices' most recent ad, but there's no suggestion that the opposition is going to take back any of its questionable claims.
All right, thanks, Phil. Now, this weekend, the campaign for the justices held a news conference to denounce the truthfulness of the new attack ad. But take a look at what happened on social media. The headline on our story read, "Justices Campaign Calls New Ad Absolutely False." But when Supreme Court opponents posted that story, they used social media tools to make it appear that our headline said something else. Their version, liberal Supreme Court justices can't handle the truth. Again, that is not the real headline.